Hi, my name's Oliver, aged 24, and I run a YouTube channel called Oliver Aged 24, and today I'm going to be showing you how to draw Dave from Boyinaband with professional 3D effects. So first things first, we need to draw Dave's head, and to do that you want to use the squircling technique, which is where you draw a cross between a square and a circle. Next we're going to add the eyes, and for those you want to do one slightly squashed and smaller and the other one large and more roundy-ish, and this will create a 3D sense of dimension and perspective in your drawing. Now to get Dave's mouth looking just right, you want to do a sideways hill on the side of his face and then do some detailed top teeth and less detailed bottom teeth. Now the first thing you notice about Dave is that he has really glowing skin, and to capture that on your photorealistic drawing you need to use a 3D whitish pink colour for the skin and then use a darker colour for the inside the head look inside the mouth. Next we're going to draw Dave's t-shirt, and as you know Dave always wears long sleeve t-shirts, so you need to make sure you make the sleeve go all the way to where his hand should be, and that's quite important. Now one thing I've just done there that I didn't mention is I've made one of his arms go off of the screen, and this is because hands take a really long time to draw, and part of being a professional artist is trying to streamline your process as much as possible and make it really efficient. So any corners that you can trim off, trim them right off, definitely. Now Dave's hand is actually the same colour as his face, and so what you can do is use the colour stealing technique to steal the colour from his face and then use the colour filling technique to fill his hand in the same colour. Now obviously I'm using a top of the range drawing program, so things like the colour stealing tool and the paint bucket tool might not be available in what program you have. And if that's the case, you might want to consider upgrading, or try a simpler tutorial for beginners on somebody else's drawing channel, but not mine. Next I'm going to use some calligraphy, and that's the word for using fancy writing that looks attractive to the eye. And I'm just going to write the words Boyinaband on Dave's t-shirt. Beautiful. And now I'm going to draw my favourite part of Dave, which is his hair. And I'm going to use the hairing technique, which is where you kind of do longish, curvy-ish lines around the top of his head, and then he has quite long hair, so you want to stretch them down the page. Actually, I tell a lie, it is Dave's red streak that is my favourite part of Dave. So we're going to draw that next. And to do that, you want to use the same hairing technique, but you want to choose a blood red colour, and then make it more curvy and more windswept than the other hair. Fantastic. Now I'm going to turn this into a really advanced tutorial, and I'm actually going to draw a background. And if this was a song, this would be the part where the bass drops and all those crazy noises that Dave likes to make would happen. So that's what this is in drawing. I guess you could say I'm about to drop the pencil. See what I did there? So I'm going to start out by outlining some of the parts of the background. Obviously, I'm drawing this from Dave's channel picture, so there are two bits of grass, and then there's kind of like a wobbly wall bush thing on one side, and then a bit of a wallish bush thing on the other side. Now I'm obviously going to use a 3D grass green for the grass, and then a 3D wall colour for the wall. Now if you want to get fancy, I'm going to add an extra layer, and I'm going to do another wall on the other side, and then I'm going to make that a darker 3D wall colour, and then I'm going to do a bush in front of that that is a darker 3D green than the grass. Ooh, and before you say I forgot, I need to add the telegraph pole in the background, and you can do that by doing two perfectly straight lines. Magnifico. That's French for really good. Now I'm actually going to turn this photorealistic drawing of Dave into comic book Dave, and I'm going to do that by adding a speech bubble and writing in there, "Hi!" because that's what Dave always says. Identical. Now I'm just going to write my name and age to make it a professional piece of work, and then I'm finished. Fantastic. Now to finish off with, let's have a look at how my previous student Neef got along with my tutorial. Let's see what he drew. Oh, Neef. He's actually made it look like Dave is getting shot through the head, instead of the blood red 3D hair colour. Wow. Oh, and if you look at his t-shirt, it says in a boy band instead of boy in a band. So he's got the right words, but he's put them in the wrong order and it takes on a whole different meaning. Oh, neef. Also, instead of writing hi in the speech bubble, he's written ugh, and I don't really think that would work as well for Dave's videos. I mean, can you imagine him starting them by going, ugh, it's Dave? It just wouldn't work. Okay, well, I'm going to end it there, and hopefully next time, Neef will learn how to draw really good. Thank you. Okay, cool, so there should be a button on the screen to subscribe to Dave's channel, which you should totally do, and also a button to subscribe to my channel, which you should do as well. You can actually be subscribed to both of us, which is one of the really cool features about YouTube. Awesome. Ba-da-ba-ba-boo! The end.